All rise for the Honorable Judge Matthew Freiler.
Penn State Sports Court is in session. Basketball fans around the nation had their eyeballs glued to the Staples Center on Saturday night as LeBron James made his debut as a Los Angeles Laker. Eventually, chaos ensued, fists and saliva flying through the air. The result? Suspensions across the board. 2 games for Chris Paul, 3 games for Rajon Rondo, and a 4-game ban for Brandon Ingram. Counselor Morgan brings the case to this court, stating these suspensions are just simply a slap on the wrist and could have been more severe. Counselor, state your case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, if you look at the suspensions, they're not enough. You see the game, you see the fight, it's a lot. Brandon Ingram throws James Harden, then walks away with Lance Stevenson pulling him away from the fight, which is when Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo start to get into it. As he's being pulled away, they begin to scuffle. He comes back in and throws another punch. To me, that 4-game suspension is not enough. You're leaving the fight, then running back all the way across the court just to get back into the scuffle. He says he's defending his teammate. You're not defending your teammate. You're getting into a fight. That's being a thug. You're not acting right in that situation. He needs to learn to walk away from the fight and not come back. Now, Chris Paul's 2 games, I see that if he really got spit on. Now, I don't know if that's correct, but obviously the league sees something in that because he got a lesser suspension than Rajon Rondo. In my opinion, they should both get the same suspension because they both started the fight after Ingram's scuffle with Harden ensued. Now, the weird thing for me is Harden gets nothing. He's obviously the beginning argument in the fight, but I see where he walks away, and I think that's what Brandon Ingram should have done and just left the fight be where it is.
Counselor Pitcoff, your counter?
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, I think you said before, Rondo and Chris Paul, they didn't get the same suspension because one of them's covered by State Farm, the other one isn't. Anyway, Adam Silver is staying consistent to what he's doing. Last year, he suspended Aaron Aflalo 2 games for throwing punches, and he suspended Serge Ibaka and James Johnson for fighting each other, and they only got 1 game apiece. So they got a little bit more. I'm not defending, I'm not condoning violence here, but the referees did absolutely nothing to help damage control whatsoever.
I object, Your Honor.
Objection granted.
The referees did jump in.
They didn't.
They pulled away Brandon Ingram.
They did not.
And when a scuffle of 10 players is breaking out, there's only 3 referees on the court at a time.
Yeah, but 2 of them literally are looking like deer in headlights. If you watch the film, only 1 of the 3 referees actually tried breaking up the fight. The other 2 just stood there. The security guards from Staples Center had to go in and actually take out the fight.
If you're a referee, most of these referees aren't the same as these athletes.
They're not, but you got to make an effort. No one's going to punch the referee.
Are you going to fight LeBron James? Are you going to be able to pull him away? Chris Paul is not a weak guy.
All right,
he's not going to fight a ref.
I think I'm going to make a ruling here. So, Counselor Pitcoff, I do like the fact that you compared these suspensions to NBA fights in the past, and the league has to stay consistent. I get that. But the point I will bring up, and the reason I'm going to rule with Counselor Morgan here, is because Brandon Ingram himself came out today and said, thank you to the league for only suspending him 4 games, because he thought he was going to get more. So let's be honest here. The man came in through a haymaker at the end of that fight, totally unprovoked. Okay?
You also got to realize, I did the math, over $800,000, that's how much money these players are losing from this suspension combined.
But for them, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Ingram's on a rookie deal, but other than that.
You got to be kidding me with that.
Like you said, Chris Paul's with State Farm. He's not worried about that. State Farm will cover that right away.